All right, my friend, welcome to the next episode of the Fit at Home podcast, where we share our best tips to improve your health and fitness lifestyle for the next 7 days. Because the end of the day, when it comes to getting the best shape of your life, there's no place like home. Matt Schifferly here from the Red Delta Project with my co-pilot Al Painter here. Al, talk to me, man. What's new with you?
Oh my God, what's new with me? I was going to go with something boring. I got brought back my neighborhood walk, but I'm going to go with something more fun. And those of you who are baseball, softball people will like this. I lost a glove after a game. This one I've had since I was 16, actually. So today I went to go look for baseball gloves and
Yeah, the new leather smell.
the smell of a baseball glove is just the best. It's like way better than the dry erase marker on the board as a kid. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been scouring the interwebs today, looking at gloves. I think the Shoeless Joe brand might be my jam eventually. But one of the biggest reasons I did that is because after I did the Online Trainer Academy certification, there's another component that you could do if you were dumb enough to go around the clock with the first thing and to actually keep doing it with the other thing. Then I decided, because I don't have enough stress right now, quarantine and whatnot, let's do it, baby. 7 come 11, and I rolled snake eyes, man, and it just depleted me. I learned a ton, got a lot of really good things done, but my brain was just.
Yep.
So yesterday and today, I gave myself complete permission to just go off the rails, and whatever squirrel I wanted to chase on the internet, I went there. And I found a squirrel in the form of baseball gloves, and I went there. And that's what I've been doing today.
Yep.
To get my brain a rest.
Good.
There it is.
You need it, man. You need it. Sometimes you just need that sort of thing. And there's just something fun about just online shopping and looking up reviews and just checking things out. Just it's fun. It's like I remember one of my best memories when I was a kid was going down to the local video game store and seeing all the new games and saying, "Oh, look at this." You see the back for the graphics and reviews and stuff like that. And that was always a big thing for me. For me, like it wasn't buying the games and stuff. It was just experiencing like what could be and what would it be like and discovering new products coming out and stuff. But now with the internet, it's so much bigger because you can get video reviews and you can see stuff online. And there's so many more resources to get a more immersive experience for new products coming out, new equipment, just anything that you want to dabble in. And it really does make the experience a lot more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Especially when you get one person who loved the thing. Right. Here's a typical anatomy of an internet review or posting or whatever. Right. So you'll say, "Hey, I saw this thing and I loved it. It was great." Right. And then as the troll, I'm going to chime in and say, "No, this thing sucks." And it sucks because for a millisecond of my life, I couldn't figure out how to read it because I threw the directions away and I was never able to look it up, and I couldn't get my computer to turn on to look for directions in the PDF online. So you're wrong.
Yeah, like, dude, I tell you, the other day I bought a Lego set and 1 star because it was all in pieces when I got it. Obviously, like I couldn't believe it. It's terrible company, horrible product. Like they actually expected me to assemble it. So obviously they don't know what they're doing.
Stupid puzzle.
Stupid Lego set.
It's Friday, people. We're going to be a little bit punchy.
Oh,
and you're gonna love it.
We got the crazies going on, but let's be professional. Let's be serious. Okay. Let's get our tips. Yes. Very top tips of the week to improve your at-home fitness game for the next 7 days and beyond. So we got our workout tips of the week. Al, what's your top workout tip?
My workout tip is something that always makes my life easier when the blender turns on and my brain's right in the middle of it, is make your weekly schedule. And almost to the second, right? Especially with the workouts. Put those workouts in a calendar. I've got a calendar book, and I use, such a dork, but I use different color highlighters to denote what's going to be going on during that particular hour. Yes, people, I still use paper because I'm old school. Emphasis on old.
Is that something new?
Papelli? I know it's a certain wedding anniversary theme. Like
Yeah.
I learned that too. Like there's every year is a theme of a gift. Anyway,
Yep.
so you write it down, and if you want to go really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, chocolate milk and GMO food, you you write down the actual workout of what you're going to do that day.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally it's a non-negotiable, but if something happens and your body's just not feeling it or your brain's not feeling it, take a lighter pass over it, or just take a pass period, whatever, and just come back the next day. But write it down, schedule it, make it sacred, etch it in stone, make it non-negotiable for that period of time. I don't care if it's 5 minutes or 50 on that day during the week. That is your workout time, and come hell or high water, nothing goes there except for you and your exercise.
Yeah, I'll add to that too, is also when you're planning things out, make a couple mental notes of what are you going to physically like try to improve and work on.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's one of the things that can literally make or break your entire workout. Is, are you just saying, all right, I'm just going to go through the motions, or okay, I'm here on a mission to improve my range of motion on my pull-ups, or to get 5 more pounds on my dumbbell curls, whatever it is. Because as a coach and a trainer in some of these big box gyms over the years, I've always noticed that whoever makes the most progress in the gym are the ones who have a definitive answer to the question, what are you working on today? Now, I'll ask that question a million times a day, just as conversation. That's what we trainers do. And almost always I'll get well, I don't know. I was thinking maybe, I'm not sure, maybe some of this. And then if I feel up for it over there, nothing. Like those are the people who can work out for years, go nowhere, as most people do. But the individuals where I say, what are you working on today? It's like, oh, I'm working on my glute ham raises, and I'm really trying to make sure that my glutes stay active through the full range of motion. Boom. Just because they have a mission and a plan, their ability to have productive workouts, not just hard workouts, but productive workouts, increases tenfold. And just that simple thing can literally make all the difference in the world. So
yeah, find your why, etch it in stone, and if you see Matt, you better have an answer to that question.
Yeah.
I thought trainers are supposed to go on Instagram, call everybody part of their fit fam, crush their gym session, not wear a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's funny how many people, they watch my YouTube videos and stuff, and they're like, finally, someone who's working out with their shirt on. As for me, it's like weird because I was always making videos and stuff in a big public gym, and like people just wear normal clothes in a gym. So for me to be like, all right, workout time, get half naked, it's like it's weird to do it in public. It's amazing how many things on social media we see it and we're like, yeah, that's normal, but you see it in real life and you're like, huh,
right?
Okay, sort of thing. And different gyms, different settings. Like you go to a CrossFit gym, totally normal. But it really is kind of funny. Like I remember the first time I ever saw a professional bodybuilder in person. Like you see Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movies and stuff. I mean, this is way back in the 80s. And these bodybuilders and fitness magazine, you're like, yeah, okay, great. But I saw one at a country fair, in Vermont country fair. He's pushing around a stroller, and it was like suddenly there was this mismatch between fantasy and reality, and you look at it and it's like that looks really weird, like really strange. It's not the reaction you're expecting. And it's the same sort of thing for women too. There was a gal who used to work out at the gym, and she was a typical Instagram model wannabe, just spilling out of her halter top, always posing and stuff like that. And again, when you see it on Instagram, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of attractive. That's cool, getting likes and stuff. But when you see it in real life, all the guys are like, oh, for the love of God, it's like, come, give me a break. It looks so out of place. It's a reminder of how reality and what we see on the social medias and stuff, they're not matching up. They're not the same.
And there have been times where like I've been in a big box, and you see people doing exercises and it's like, okay, I think I know what you're trying to do. I guess the part that I'm questioning is, when did that seem like a good idea?
Yeah.
And are you leaving here and going to your neurosurgeon's office afterwards? I really hope so.
Huh? Anyway, let's so moving right along. So my workout tip of the week, and this one can really make a big difference in the effectiveness of your workout and the ability to recover well, is check your breathing while you're working out. So a lot of times our workouts are seriously compromised or enhanced simply because of how we are breathing. Because you can go weeks without food, days without water, but only minutes without air. So when we are breathing, oftentimes unconsciously, in very restrictive ways, like we're just really tight and we're just kind of thing, that just creates a huge amount of fatigue in the body. And you're essentially limiting yourself. If you ever wanted to go into a workout and say, how can I significantly handicap my ability to change my body? That's the way to do it, is restricted breathing. So pay attention to your breathing, make sure it's smooth, make sure it's even. You can have that Valsalva maneuver going on to create the intra-abdominal pressure as long as you're controlling it. Like a lot of weightlifters with the heavier weights, like big, heavy back squats and stuff, they'll use it, but they're using it proactively. They're not just turning purple and straining and speaking in tongues as they're, kind of thing. Breathe smooth, be in control. If you're using an exercise or a weight or an intensity where you're doing that, chances are it's a little tiny bit too much. As a friend of mine once put it, you want to be actively calm and calmly active during the exercise. And again, you'll see this with the people who are the strongest and the most accomplished in the gym. They're not struggling. They're working hard, yes, but they do not have that all out struggle face and breathing going on. They are in control and they are strong throughout their technique, including strong breathing. So check your breathing. If it's struggle breathing, back off a little bit to the point where you don't have to struggle breathe anymore.
I like that. That's good stuff, man. That's the good stuff. Yeah.
Said more for my benefit than anything else because I'm a poster child.
I'm
always like okay.
His name rhymes with cat, and he lives in Colorado.
Yeah. All right. So now we're on to our dietary approaches here. Dietary tips to improve your healthy eating for the next 7 days. Al, what do you recommend we do for the next 7 days?
Well, here we go. Next 7 days. Since this is show 11 or 12, we know that incrementally you've been engaging the steps that we have recommended on a weekly basis. Hint, hint, faithful listener. I trust all of you implicitly to be doing this. I want you to add, because we've already talked about eating a salad, just adding it in. We've already talked about eating an additional vegetable a day. What I want you to do this week, bear with me, wait for it, add two new vegetables into the salad every day that ends in the letter Y for the next 7 days. So for instance, get some beets, cut up some beets, pop them in there. Cut up some cucumbers, pop them in there. I like things that have a little more juice to them. If you like broccoli, cool, raw broccoli, chop it up, put it in there. I find that to be a little drier. You have to put a little more on the salad and kind of doesn't do much for me. But I love beets and I love to put in cucumbers, like I said, because they're very juicy, they're crunchy, and they're really good for you as it is, those water foods. And then put it into the salad. Those two, stay with those two. Every day that ends in the letter Y, 2 new vegetables in the salad. Go from there.
Very good. Awesome. Can't go wrong with more on the veggie side of things. And in that line, my tip of the week is to prioritize enjoyment of your foods. I came across another one of these individuals on my YouTube channel the other day saying, if it tastes good, don't eat it. I'm like, that's the worst diet advice you could possibly give. Like it's this idea of, in your workout, if you don't want to do it, you should be doing it. If it tastes good, don't eat it. Like, so what's your goal here? What's your end strategy? Like, we're just supposed to be miserable all the time.
Yeah, right.
We're supposed to be flailing ourselves with whips in a dark room while someone's yelling at us. Like, where are you headed with this? But the fact of the matter is, a healthy diet is a satisfying diet. It's something that satisfies all of your appetites, not just your nutritional ones, but tastes good, satisfies your cravings and hunger, and all these lingering desires for food are a sign of an unhealthy and inadequate diet. So we want to prioritize enjoyment. Don't eat things just because it's okay. It's all right. If you like ice cream, get the best damn ice cream you
Oh,
can,
yes.
and be critical of it too. Like if you go grocery shopping and you get some ice cream and you're eating it there at home and you're like, yeah, it's good ice cream, but it could be better. Like it's not X type of ice cream. It's not Ben and Jerry's. Well, then make a note in your grocery list of get Ben and Jerry's next time. Be picky. Be really high up to standards. And you're making your salad and you're like, this is a good salad, but I went with this dressing. And it's not really as good as this other one. Like be really demanding, a connoisseur, as it were, of your dietary choices. Because the more you can satisfy your palate, and your enjoyment of foods, the healthier it will be. And the more you can do that with variety, like your two vegetables, that's going to help with that enjoyment as well.
Yeah, so deviate from the steamed chicken and vegetables for a
Yeah.
little while. Put a little teriyaki sauce on that chicken or some curry or
Yeah.
something to that effect. You have to enjoy it. I mean, I don't know how many folks you have on your roster. They'll go on vacation and it's almost like they forget the purpose of vacation is to enjoy life
Yeah.
more so than normal, right? So they'll come back and oh, I mean, it's like we're in the confessionals, like, bless me, Al, for I have sinned, right? It's been 24 hours since I had a piece of celery. It's like, okay, you went on vacation. Yeah. Did you eat out every night?
Vacation.
Yeah, we had good food, we had desserts and maybe some wine here and there. And it's like, well, did it taste good? Yeah, but I came home and my clothes are a little tighter. I'm like, perfect. You did vacation right. You
Good.
did
Yeah.
it right. And then they look at me like, what? What do you mean? I got bigger. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a drop in the bucket to what you're doing. You got it out of your system and just come back, get back on the wagon until you go and take off and do it again. It's okay, people. Enjoy. If you live in the Bay or Silicon Valley, you want to go to Rick's and on Middlefield and Palo Alto and get industrial chocolate, rich dark chocolate with dark chocolate chunks. Oh my God, man, it's amazing. Get your pint of Rick's industrial chocolate. If you eat it all in one sitting, okay, I would recommend that. Try to space it out, but get it out of your system, get it over with, and then get back on track. It's okay. It's okay.
The biggest dietary idea within our fitness culture is based on an entirely false premise that your diet is healthy because you don't eat certain foods. It's like saying, I don't do drugs, therefore I should live to be 100. It's like, no, I could still be sick and die by the time I'm 50. Like you don't have a healthy diet just because you don't eat certain things. Plus, it's not about what you eat and don't eat. It's can you eat it in a healthy way? And that's one of the things that is sorely lacking in our nutrition education these days of, all right, there's this thing called pizza. Here's how you eat it in a healthy way. Here's how you can make a really good pizza. Here's how you can have it in a healthy diet. Now, most people are like, pizza's the work of the devil, don't eat it kind of thing. And oh, it was bad because I ate pizza. It's like, no, like I eat pizza almost every single week. You're not out of shape. You're not. No, because I know how to eat it in a healthy way.
Right.
And because I'm eating it, my diet is healthier because I'm enjoying it. Otherwise, I would probably just build up craving, build up stress, and then sometime I'd eat large pizzas 5 nights a week to, overdo it, and that would be unhealthy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the other side of that coin too is, let's say quinoa. Quinoa is supposed to be good for you. Quinoa is it could be put into a salad or whatever else. I can't eat it because for some reason, my physiology and quinoa do not play together very well. Right? It just doesn't. It feels like somebody put a balloon on my stomach and pumped it up. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why genetically that's what I've got going on. But that's supposed to be a healthy food, right? But it's not healthy for me to eat because of the inflammation side effects that I get. So just because somebody says, eat this thing because it's healthy, if it has a bad side effect for you, inflammation, or you feel foggy or whatever, then it's not good for you to eat. Go find the thing that is. It's okay.
And this is your enjoyment we're talking, dear listener.
Right?
Like, I don't care if Mary from accounting thinks quinoa is the best thing in the world and and puts it on her toast and mix it in with her smoothie and puts it on top of her ice cream. Like if you're getting a negative reaction from it, there's your answer. And funny enough, you mentioned quinoa. I have not the same reaction, but there's a restaurant down the street from the gym, and they make this breakfast sandwich wrap kind of thing, which is awesome. But it's called their Kino Power Wrap, and I've had it a couple of times, and I don't have a negative reaction with it. I just don't like quinoa. Just the texture. It's like, God, I feel like I'm eating sand here. So I went in there one time. I was like, can we, instead of the quinoa, can we just put in some more sweet potato? They're like, oh yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, awesome, wonderful, best thing I've eaten in days, right? And it's like, well, there you go. That's what happens when you prioritize your enjoyment of your food. I'm not gonna just keep eating it and being like, well, it's got all these superfoods and it's awesome and everything like that. Quinoa, I'll just deal with it kind of thing. It's like, this would be better if it didn't have the quinoa and it had sweet potato in it. Swap it out, awesome. And I made that not because of what's the nutritional content of sweet potatoes and what's the carb. I did it because that would probably taste really good. And that was the reason why I did it. And it's awesome and it's great. And that's why, as I let my enjoyment kind of steer me towards a much better breakfast burrito.
How dare you do something that enhances your life and tastes good? No, you're a trainer. Steamed chicken, cardboard.
Yes, sir.
Vegetables. That's it. That's it.
As flavorless as possible, right?
Exactly. Make it as bland and god-awful terrible as possible.
All right, and on to our last segment here, our resources segment. Now, I'm just going to keep spinning here. We're on the dietary segment here, but a resource that I've recently rediscovered that I highly recommend, and we've all know about this sort of thing, but during quarantine and everything like that, I got sick with the vid and everything, and I was like, well, how do I get food? And of course, my friends were like, well, you got to do the Instacart sort of thing. And so that's the resource of reminding folks Instacart, but put it in this perspective. Now, you and I, over these podcasts, we've been talking about the value of having a planned grocery outing, going with a list, not going when you're hungry, making, plans for what you're going to eat throughout the week. Like these are the steps to proper planning for a healthy, satisfying diet. And recently I've been doing Instacart more because that makes all of that stuff so much easier. I just go through my kitchen. What do I need? Go on Instacart, order things, boom, it's there. Saves me a ton of time, saves me a ton of money because I'm not doing impulse purchases of like, ooh, tiramisu, yes, please, kind of thing. It also saves a lot of just needless food and calories, like said tiramisu and stuff like that. Because if I'm on Instacart, you don't have the stuff in front of you. There's no impulse purchases. But sometimes I'd be on it and like, man, I really feel like that tiramisu. Okay, order it kind of thing because it's on my mind. I really want it. It's not an impulse purchase. It is a planned purchase. So using Instacart saves you time, saves you money, saves you calories, puts you more in control of your dietary choices, helps you control your food environment, and makes the whole healthy eating thing way easier. It's all win, 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 win. It's hard to find a single downside to it. Instacart, use it for a healthier shopping experience.
I trust that you got the tiramisu that is gluten-free, free range, cage-free, organic, or paleo-friendly and sugar-free and happiness-free. I trust you got that.
I told them to put extra gluten in it, and they said that it was made with organic, paprika or whatever they put on top, and I said get rid of that and put on cocaine. Just lace on cocaine. I'm just going to snort the whole cake.
And put as much food color dye number this as possible.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, we get to thrive. And it's Instacart. It's like when Ralphie waited for whatever he got from all the box tops in Christmas Story. Like he was just super excited. Like that box shows up and I get super jazzed. I'm like, what's in the treasure chest today? What did Joe order? It's awesome. I love it. Yes.
Yep. Good stuff.
Good call, man.
But Instacart goes a long way at helping you control your food budget, both in calories and finance. And it is just so much more convenient. So that's my resource of the week. What's yours, Al?
Mine is, I'm going to go back to the workout tip and then I'm going to +1 it. Okay. So I'm going back to a calendar book and, you could go to Staples or Office Depot or online somewhere and you could get one. And then What I highly, 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 highly recommend is to set up the next day, the night before. And the more detailed you get down to the second, the days when I've written down from essentially 5:30 a.m. to about 8 p.m. and actually followed that, my God, it was 7 come 11. It was blackjack, Yahtzee, and anything else you can think of. My day was so smooth. It was so simple. It was so seamless because I had it planned. And my brain and organization go very, very well together. Oddly enough, I know it sounds hypocrisy and irony at its maximum,
Yep.
but when I have things scheduled for me, it's just a boom, 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 boom. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock, do this. Okay, it's 8 o'clock, do that. You know, that kind of thing. I'm talking like when you have a snack, when you have your coffee, when you have your lunch, everything else, just try it. And that rigidity of schedule gives you so much more freedom of time later on, and it's going to allow you to absolutely own your morning. And by own your morning, I mean take control of your day right then in your morning. You start to get a couple wins stacked up by 7 a.m. They just, the wins just come the rest of the day. So
it saves
calendar
so
book,
much of that decision fatigue too.
right?
Like you feel fresher mentally by the end of the day. You don't feel like, oh, I did all these things today, because your brain has to work just at 1% less to figure out what it needs to do and remember everything it needs to do and what order it needs to do. And should I plan this and stuff? It's just literally set it and forget it. Just push go and you're off and run into the races.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot recommend that enough. Every productivity guru, quote unquote, or business coach I've ever had, or anybody else who really produces at a high level or lives life at a really high level, they're scheduled. They're scheduled and they're scheduled. And when they're done scheduling, they schedule some more, and it just keeps you on track to keep going.
Yeah, it really is a game changer, folks. If you haven't done it, just try it one day, like this weekend or something coming up. Just one day, do it once. You'll see what we mean. It really does make a big difference. I do it on a whiteboard myself. I have a whiteboard here, you know, in my gym, in my living room and stuff. And the day before, I'll write down just little things I want to make sure I do, and it's just boom, and I get more done by noon than I would have done all day otherwise.
And I trust keep Enzo in the manner to which he is accustomed is like every other 5-minute block of time.
Yeah, absolutely. My cat, everybody. Cat Enzo.
I mean, he's doing you a solid by letting you live there and feed him.
Of course, yes.
So you better be paying homage accordingly.
Yeah, well, you know, it is the cat's place. I just live here. I am the hairless ape that brings them food. That's pretty much my role here.
Yes. You ever seen Simon's Cat on YouTube?
I think so.
Simon's Cat on YouTube is the best. Cat owners watch Simon's Cat on YouTube.
Simon's Cat. Okay, there's another resource for you, folks, everybody. We're going to let you go so you can go and apply these tips, because after all, no one ever got in shape listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video. You get in shape by taking these tips and taking massive action. So go forth, do likewise, stay strong, and lead by example.